Hello world, back to the hair bands. We did Motley Crue recently, but we're in at the ultimate hair band, Guns and Poison. Poison. Why do I say Guns and Poison? Do you know?
I did read that.
They almost had Slash as their
Yeah, okay, yes.
And it's funny that their first album was
They almost had Slash, and also CC DeVille was almost in Striper,
yeah,
so.
Christian band. He went took a different path, didn't he? Does that mean Striper really wasn't that much of a Christian band?
Probably not. I'm sure.
Yeah, so definitely would have been a way different band with Slash. And then Slash, he joins Guns N' Roses, and basically a year after they put their debut out, they had the biggest debut album of a band. So.
Yeah, did you see? Okay, so it was Enigma. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Enigma, and they got paid $30,000.
And that was their biggest charting album ever.
It didn't say how much they got for the next album. I was looking for the figure. I'm sure they got paid.
Well, I wonder if they got royalties. You know what? We made way more than we thought we were going to. Here, you can have some money.
Yeah.
You would hope.
Or you'd think the next album that they would have been offered more than $30,000.
Yeah, definitely. Right. So, we did Men at Work last week, and we have a tie-in. Kind of. They were sued by Kid Rocker. Not Kid Rock. Kid Rocker, a band called Kid Rocker, claiming 25 years later that some of the songs they made as hits. They only picked on the hits. Like they wouldn't have stolen some songs and then used them as a filler. No, only the hits. Written by Kid Rocker, they say. And then they said, sorry, you're past your statute of limitations.
Yeah, so most of them, there was 3 of them. I think besides CC, Bill, there's probably 4.
Rick Rocket.
Because there was other members too. There was the Matt Smith? Is that who was?
Oh yeah, the drummer originally when they were.
The guitarist that was a pretty good guitarist.
Oh yeah.
Decided to be a family man instead.
Correct, because they
had to replace.
He thought they were going nowhere.
But they were all from Mechanicsburg, I think it was, which is
Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yes, and CC DeVille, he was in a a band called the Screaming Mimes. Wasn't that something Drew Carey called his coworker?
So after he got fired from Poison, he started another band called Samantha 7. I don't know why. Is that because they look like women? I don't know.
It took him a while to get back to this band, but okay. So recently I heard this on another video. We know we did Aerosmith a long time ago, but that song "Dude Looks Like a Lady" came from Steven Tyler trying to pick up a woman, and it ended up being Richards.
Okay.
Michael. What was his last name? Michael. No, Richard. What's his name? Who? Brett Michaels.
Brett Michaels.
Couldn't think of it. The lead singer. But if you look at that, the album cover for that first album,
what the cat they all do look like women.
They look more like women than men.
Yes.
And some of them don't look like good-looking women. They do look like women. So that's why they're the ultimate hair band.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Now, my favorite album cover of theirs is the
second one.
No, it's the one where it has all the cover songs called "Poisoned."
Oh, the last one.
Because of the their name and the women's lipstick, the bright green. That's the reason I like it, because that bright green.
Well, the bright green they use on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So Unskinny Bop Video had bright green, the green. Nothing But a Good Time had the green.
Yeah. Now this is why Motley Crue also was higher than Poison, is because Motley Crue had some fun videos. Poison pretty much is every video is live. Mostly, there's a couple where like every rose has a thorn starts differently.
Right. So they didn't veer off too much.
Yeah.
With their videos.
Yeah, so we'll get into our songs with the top 10 list and you'll see how good they were. But for the most part, they are known for their antics other than their songs, right? So there's a couple things I saw that happened with them on stage.
Oh yeah.
Like one, there was the
one stage prop that actually fell on.
Well,
Bret
it wasn't the
Michaels.
stage. It was they were closing they had a drop.
Oh, okay.
And they were going to be behind it, and it closed them off so that they could probably change scenery.
Right.
And Bret Michaels was walking. He was walking too slow, and they dropped it too soon while he was still out front. So it came right down on him. And then Neil Patrick Harris came out. It was, I think, the Tony Awards.
Okay.
So Neil Patrick Harris came out later and said he's okay, but he said it gives a different meaning to headbanging. I thought that was a good joke.
That's happened to several members too.
Yeah.
I forget who else it was. Might have even been either somebody from Motley Crue,
Yeah.
or Slash, or somebody like that, where they threw a guitar up and it landed on his head.
Yeah.
Can't remember. But Bret Michaels, he got fat too, just like the Loverboy singer. I hear his voice is not all that great. So when you go to their concert nowadays, you're pretty much ripped off.
Yeah, so the second thing was an award show on. No, it wasn't. It was MTV.
Okay.
It was and Arsenio Hall was hosting, and like the guitar was kind of unplugged, and I think CC DeVille was like high on drugs when he was playing, and it just didn't sound good at all. So they said that was a disaster.
Well, that's the reason he got fired. And
But yeah.
they're pretty much only known for the first 3 albums.
Yes.
Fourth one still had a hit.
Well, they got into the '90s, and then the grunge came in, of course.
Yeah, grunge ruined
A lot of bands.
glam band. For sure, the glam bands went by. Similar to Motley Crue, Bret Michaels got into a car accident, delayed.
Yeah, hit a telephone pole.
Delayed their album.
Lost some teeth. Broke
Yeah.
his hand, I think.
So he had enough money to replace his teeth.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like them better than Motley Crue.
Okay.
So I would actually put them ahead. Obviously, we didn't have a Motley Crue song in our hits, but we do have one of theirs in for Poison.
I'm not positive. I'm going by memory here, but I remember listening to or watching Hot Tub Time Machine,
Yes. Okay.
and I believe they were at the resort. Poison. I don't think it was the actual band, but I think it was the band playing them on stage. They never got close enough to us so we could see them. But I think they were at the resort playing on the stage.
I don't remember.
If I remember.
That movie, not a great movie.
No, the best thing about it was Crispin Glover losing his arm. Remember, they kept doing things where he could lose the arm, and then he wouldn't lose the arm. And like, and then unexpectedly is when he actually lost it. So that was the funniest thing about that movie.
Yeah. So so CC DeVille, apparently he was, in case I didn't mention it before, he apparently was the one who stole all those songs.
Yeah.
So I can see he wasn't really part of the friend group that came from Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So that's why he would be easy to fire. But like Talk Dirty to Me was one, Fallen Angel, Ride the Wind. All these came from that other band.
Yeah.
So he's a thief.
Yeah, but Every Rose Has Its Thorn was Bret Michaels' song based on a girlfriend he dated, and she left him because he was into the fame fortune.
Yeah.
They called the rose was the fame and fortune, and she was the thorn.
So why is he at a laundromat? You're rich. Let somebody else do your clothes. But he called her from a laundromat. And then some other guy's voice was in the background. Now you don't know, did she have a brother? That could have been her brother. Not allowed to have other friends of the opposite sex, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was their only #1 song too.
Yeah, it was.
And that came from their 3rd album, I believe.
Right, I think they had a #3 and a #4 also. But
Honestly, Something to Believe In should have been a #1. Because that's an emotional song.
yeah. Now, I was trying to look for... I watched a TV show or a movie I was watching a couple weeks ago, but I don't remember. I tried to find out which one it was. That the character in it opened a room to go into,
Okay.
and on the TV it was playing Rock of Love, and I was like, I tried to scan. What did I just watch a couple weeks ago that was in it? I couldn't
What is
find
Rock
it.
of Love? One of
Rock
those?
of Love was what Bret Michaels was in to find love.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to, okay, so it's women contestants, and every week he would get rid of one of them.
Okay.
And then by the end, there was like 2 or 3 left, and he would pick the one he wanted to be with.
Most things.
He had 3 seasons.
He was in a lot of stuff, and most things he was not. And he played himself in a lot of things.
But he had 3 seasons of that, and he'd pick somebody, and then they would have another season because the relationship didn't last that long.
Obviously.
Yeah. My wife and I watched the series, and it was hilarious. He's funny.
Who is Bret Michaels?
Bret Michaels is funny, yes. When he's talking about the women that were like trying to get him to pick them, and they would do stuff, and then he would comment on it, and it's pretty funny. So
Yeah. So I didn't write down anything, so we can just go ahead and get to our top 10, which you got right. They don't have a whole lot of hits to judge, but I did pick one that didn't make it. So let's go ahead and get to that. Okay, so like I said, there's only one honorable mention. It's from me, and understandable. I picked it from the 4th album, Native Tongue, which C.C. DeVille, right? It's DeVille, right?
yes.
There is a Cecil B. DeMille that directed movies
Yeah.
long ago, silent
and
movies.
there was always the call it a meme now. It wasn't a meme way back then, but
Right.
it'd be considered a meme now. It's when they say, Cecil B. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up. The
Right.
actors would always say it.
Correct. Yes. And there's a horror movie called Cecil B. Demented.
Yeah.
I've never seen that though. Anyways,
I did see there was some kind of cartoon where they based a character off of
It was a
CC Banana. Yeah.
CC Banana, and you know what's funny? So Bret Michaels appeared on the Masked Singer show.
Oh, yeah, as a banana.
As a banana.
Yes, yes. That's right.
That had to have been intentional, right? Okay, so anyways, my honorable mention comes from the 4th album, which totally different guitarist. I forget who the guy even was. But it's Stand. And I thought it was Stand for What You Believe In, but it's only called Stand. Somehow, a glam band, Poison, in their video, got a church choir to back them up. I was like, what church is saying, yeah, they're a Christian band.
Maybe CC called Striper and
Yeah, right. That was Striper's church, right? Okay, so yes, the Stand is, I put it as my 10.
You can get anybody to be a choir. Doesn't mean they were Christian.
That's true.
There was, I don't know if you've ever seen the video with what's his? I'm trying to think of what his
Well, Rush got a choir even, so.
for a marathon. Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino.
Shot up that choir.
Okay, so Stand. The song didn't make it. Again, 3 albums with Cecil, C.C. DeVille. I'm gonna mess it up.
You're gonna say Cecil all the time.
Yes, Cecil. Anyway, so top 10. That'd be the only one that didn't make it. You'll see why. What should not have made it. 'Cause you put it up
In
really
your
high.
eyes.
But number 10 comes from their first album, Look What the Cat Drag Did. By the way, has your cat ever drug anything in?
No. They don't usually drag it anyways. If they bring something, it's in their mouth.
Right, and then
they'll drop it in front of you.
Yes.
Yes, they'll drag it in.
Which we've had cats do that.
Yes. They don't drag it in though.
Yes. Like if they did drag it in, it's probably way bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah, the other house I had before this, my cat, which you took when I got married, but we were looking at him. He was over there, and he's like, and we're like, "What's in your mouth?" He had something in his mouth.
Okay.
He dropped it. It was alive, but it started flying out. It wasn't dead. But he caught it. I was impressed that he caught it.
Okay, so anyways, both of us put this song at number 9, and that was "I Won't Forget You," and I think it's the only only song on this album
Oh,
that
baby.
didn't make the top 10.
Yes. It's got to be
Now they're getting older.
good. Yeah.
They could potentially get Alzheimer's. and then they will forget.
Oh yeah.
So, next one comes from Open Up and Say,
Ah.
So they're at a doctor's office,
Right.
probably.
Yeah, I think we talked.
Is that
about
the only
this before.
place you'd say that?
You would think
Yes, like I know babies.
when they put that stick in your tongue.
Yeah, now babies, when
What do they call
you're
it?
trying to feed a baby, you like open up and then you do the.
You don't say there.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, this song, I have. a
Oh, you
seven-
know what? The Three Stooges. Mo did that.
What?
You say open up and say and they go and he grabbed their tongue. Wouldn't he? Is that my thinking wrong?
That.
I thought that was a bit.
Yeah. Here we go. And they paint.
Yeah.
That's a face. Okay. Anyways, this song, which I haven't mentioned yet, is I have a 7. You have it at 10, and it's what you said from is I don't know if it's on their last album, but it is a cover, their only cover that I know of. Your Mama Don't Dance.
And your daddy don't rock and roll.
That's not part of the title.
No, I know, but that's what they say.
And you know, when she was younger, she probably danced, I would imagine. But yeah, I watched the Kenny Loggins, Jim Messina version.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a different era.
Yeah.
And somehow that song made it higher on the charts than Poison's version. Now this is out of character for them, probably that's why.
Yeah. Well, they obviously like covers. For their one album that they put all the covers out, I told you about Poisons. They were polling their fans, saying
which
what
songs?
songs should we do, and
Really?
they were giving them all these. One person said Alice Cooper's Poison, which
Oh, yeah.
they didn't do, but that
Right.
they should have, I think.
Poison singing a song called
Yeah,
Poison.
yeah.
That would, and again, we've mentioned that too. It wouldn't be the first time a band has sang a song that was their name. It's happened quite a bit. All right, that was number 9. Number 8, coming from another album. So 3 albums already introduced. Flesh and Blood, Ride the Wind. I put it at 11, so a little bit right past Stand, and you have it way up at 6. To me, this is their most forgettable song.
There's a movie called Flesh and Blood with Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. Pretty good. I like it.
You've seen it?
I like it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, they have a picture of one of the guys with a tattoo. I think originally they wanted it to be red and bloody. Which
Yeah.
would
Well,
make
they
more
said it was
sense.
dripping either blood or ink. is
Yeah.
what they said.
Right. Now, if you get there's a video that shows what a tattoo looks like from the other side.
Right.
It looks nasty. I don't know if I ever want that needle going into my arm. So, and again, they're called Poison, so that's probably why they chose doing
Well,
tattoos.
Yeah.
Poison.
I'm talking about the covers. Even their second album.
Got banned.
They said they had it was like a female demon figure
With
with
the
a
long
long
tongue.
tongue. But if you look at the album, they have it blocked out like
It's just the eyes.
it's like the letterboxing
Right.
of a movie or something.
Correct. So why was that controversial?
I don't know. It's just a demon tongue.
People had to. I mean, that was back then when people didn't get offended. Now everybody gets offended. But then again, for artists, you got Sam Smith dressing up like a devil and nobody's
Yeah.
offended.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, number 7, coming from Look What the Cat Dragged In. Too many long titles, right? Trim your titles down, all right. Okay, this is I Want Action. I have this at 8, you have it at 4. And obviously they're talking about a specific thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, to me, when I look at that, I'm like, what kind of movie do you want to watch tonight? Action!
Yeah.
So, but you can't do that. I want sci-fi, I want comedy.
We didn't talk about this. I forgot. Brett Michaels
Okay.
has directed films.
He has, yes.
He wrote them, produced them, directed them, and starred in them. And they both had Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen in them.
Did they really?
Both
Okay.
of them did, yeah. So
Anything
because I
famous?
guess Brett Michaels and Charlie Sheen were good friends. So the first one was called "A Letter from Death Row,"
I saw that, yes.
where he played the character on death row. And he's like, I'm just assuming by the end he proves he's innocent.
Okay.
And the second one was an action flick. Can't remember what it was called though. But yeah, so I'm like, can't see him directing like car chases or whatever. But
Yeah. And he's, I think I mentioned this before, Brett Michaels was in Sharknado 5.
Oh yeah.
But there was a long list of cameos for that movie. I mean, Olivia Newton-John was in it, so
Yeah.
they had a lot of people.
So I want action. He got his action with the film.
Okay, action. Okay, number 6, coming from Open Up and Say Ah. Every rose has its thorn. They're number 1. I have at 4. You have down at 8. And even though it's their number 1, it's not really the song it does play a lot on the radio, but it's not the one I prefer of their slow ones.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this before where
He sighs.
he sighs in the beginning, and I didn't remember.
Same within the video. He did his sigh on a bed. Yeah. So. Yeah, there was somebody talking about thornless roses too. We mentioned that too. But every rose has its thorn. That's one of those. Duh. You ever grabbed at a rose? Oh, we get a rose for my girlfriend. Ah! Watch it. They have thorns. Okay, next one up. Number 5. Also from Open Up and Say Ah. I have at 6. You have at 5. Fallen Angel. And in this video, this is one of those rare videos, not live. It's like a story. And that's his girlfriend. I forget what her name is, Susan Hatton or something like that. Boy,
but during the song, he says, "Mama's fallen angel." Right?
Yes, right. So she went against all her principles to seek fame and fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now there are things called a fallen angel in the Bible. This is not what it's talking about, but it's got the same premise, right?
Yeah. Fallen from grace.
Yes. Okay. Okay, and the guy she signs a contract with, creepy looking. He looks like, remember Chico and the Man?
Yeah.
He looked like the Puerto Rican friend. It wasn't him, but it looked like him.
That guy, Freddie Prinze.
What about him?
Chico and the Man. That was
Freddie Prinze Jr.'s dad.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Next one up, coming from Flesh.
He was Chico, obviously. Because the Man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because the Man was.
Jack Albers.
No, yeah, the grandpa from Willy Wonka.
Okay, number 4, coming from Flesh and Blood. I have it 3, you have it at 7, and it's Unskinny Bop. Which, if you were to rephrase that,
Fat Bob.
Now, obviously, they said it's a nonsensical word. It rhymes, flows better in the lyrics. Yeah. Fat Bob. There's not very many songs. I got Spotify, right? And you hit random, and it plays songs in random. And so it first came on was Cyndi Lauper's She Bop.
I was just about to say, that we know at least 3 songs with the word bop in it.
She Bop came on, and right after it, Bop Till You Drop from Rick Springfield.
Right.
And I didn't have this.
I'll bet they had that one. They probably did a 3-fer, and they say, what's the common denominator? Like, duh, Bop?
Yeah. There are radio stations that'll say, submit your 3 in a row.
Yeah, there's a country station where they'll do it for 5 songs.
Okay.
And you have to say the one thing that's, and it could just be one word in the lyrics. It's like.
Yeah. So, obviously, Bop. Do people use the word bop anymore? Okay, that was number 4.
There's that game.
Right.
What's it called? It's called Twist Pull. Bop.
I know, and I can't remember. Studio C, which you just showed me, had a funny one using that. Right.
They were doing all sorts of weird things.
It says lick it. He's like, lick it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it made him do a bunch of disgusting things. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 3, coming from Look What the Cat Drug In, and that's Talk Dirty to Me.
Oh, it's called Bop It.
Bop It.
Really?
Now you throw it?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Bop It. Okay. Anyways, Talk Dirty to Me, you have it at 3, I have it at 5. Obviously, we're not going to tell you phrases. Why? I have a question. Why do you need to talk dirty? Why use the F word in every sentence? Anyways. You can have the same meaning without cussing. That's my point. All right, so
I've seen that played out in movies where somebody is naive or something or whatever, and like the woman will say to the guy, "Talk dirty to me," and he has no idea what to say, so he says something that just puts her down. It's like, what the heck did you say that for? I've seen stuff like that.
Sounds like it would be a Rob Schneider thing. He says something and he gets smacked. Okay, number 2, which we both agree is the number 2 from Flesh and Blood, Something to Believe In, which is, to me, his most personal song. He had lost a bodyguard.
Okay.
That was one of the things. Now, obviously, there's 3 different things. You got the guy coming home from the war, to death, and I know there's another one, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, the homeless. So, yeah, but he actually, the producer put up on that screen he was watching his bodyguard, and he couldn't finish the lyrics. He stops because he's just getting that emotional from it. But I like the part at the end where he goes, "Ha! Give me something to believe in." All right, so both of us put that at number 2, which means our number 1. Obviously, you should know this if you watched our top 10 of 1988. Comes from Open Up and Say Ah, and it's Nothing But a Good Time, which we were working in '88 at the Brown Derby. And so the video comes on and it shows people just like us washing dishes, going, "Yeah, this job sucks." They got the guy, by the end of the video, he had washed all the dishes in like a 5-minute period. But it's their most fun song. They wanted an arena song. This is definitely an arena song. And a very good, and it's funny when Bret Michaels finally says guitar, right? And then he does his little thing. Obviously, it's only guitar. All the other music cuts out.
Yeah.
But prior to him saying guitar, he had already played his guitar solo.
Okay, so he has, CC has a lot of guitar intros.
Yes.
That are, they're all different. What is your favorite intro?
On Skinny Bop.
Yes.
However, it
probably
doesn't actually start with the guitar.
No.
Like the bass is like boom, boom, boom.
But yeah, I would agree.
But
Yes.
yes. Yeah, that's the most fun. And Ride the Wind to me is like just a generic guitar, which is why I didn't even put that in my top 10.
Well, Every Rose Has a Thorn. Different because it's acoustic.
And Bret Michaels is actually playing
yeah,
the acoustic. And it looks like the bass player for Something to Believe In, he plays the piano. Yeah, it starts with the do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
So they have a wide range of things they do, which is nice. But yeah, they pretty much didn't last, at least with their hits up here. And then this
they were still going on tour. I mean, 2000s.
Now, C.C. DeVille. Or is it DeVille? DeVille. Cruella DeVille. He's in the band right now, so they obviously hired him.
Yeah, because didn't they go like with Night Ranger, Loverboy, that kind of
something like
doing that kind of.
Yeah, they pair all the bands of the 80s.
Yeah, because the 80s bands have to make they're the better concerts to go to.
They are. They are. Music wise,
Yeah.
you have to go to those concerts because today's music sucks.
Yes.
All right, so.
All right, so next
week
we're gonna be moving on.
We'll move on. It's definitely this is.
Are we gonna move on from town to town? That's the question.
and by the way, the band that we're doing next week, we're talking about 80s music being the best music.
Yeah.
They never had a top 40 in the 80s. All their hits came from the 70s and 90s, which is unusual. So that's a band. Guess what band we're doing next week? Although, they actually did have a hit.
Hey, there.
When he sprang off into another band.
What we were saying earlier, they had a band with their name in it, and it was a hit.
Okay, so yeah, take all those, form your opinion, guess what band it is, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.